So I had a private lesson with a guy, and he was telling me that he was taking PTE courses at a PTE school at the same time. And he was sounding really excited, saying that, yeah, this week we worked on Band 6 and writing essays, and next week we're going to start writing Band 7, and then I need Band 8, so the week after that, I finally get to start writing Band 8. And my response is like, you know that doesn't even matter, right? My name is Sonny, and this is Sonny English, and in this channel I provide real tips and tricks on how to obtain your PTE score. And in this video I'm going to continue on from my previous video, taking the brainstorm of the essay topic, and then we're going to create the full essay here. Now keep in mind, with PTE essays is nowhere near what IELTS is asking for. I've seen garbage ass essays, I've seen incomplete essays, still obtain high scores, still obtain over 79. In this tutorial I'm going to try to keep things simple. There's no reason to overwrite, it's not necessary. But keep in mind that this tutorial is more suitable for people that have a good knowledge of sentence mechanics, how to write simple sentences at least, because that's the only thing I will ask from you, is to write simple sentences. I will be using a little structure template, but it's not really a template. I just call it that because it gives you a little organization on how you want to write your essay, so you don't have to think about it. But overall, you will be writing your own sentences. Now, for anyone that feels intimidated by the essay, you just don't want to write your own sentences, or you just don't feel comfortable writing itself, this tutorial is not for you. If you want a full essay template and which does not require you to write anything by yourself, hit the link below and you can get that from my website. Be sure to watch the video to the end. I'm going to show you how you can get a free copy of the essay outline and the template that I use in this video. So if y'all ready, let's get into it. Okay, so if you remember from the essay brainstorm lesson, I helped you brainstorm the essay, the ideas that we're going to be writing about, and then now we're going to be writing the essay out in this lesson. So this question should look familiar to you because we worked on it together. We're going to be taking the ideas that we built up in body 1 and body 2, and we're going to be creating simple sentences with those. And yes, only simple sentences. I don't need you to overwrite it and overthink it. We've been doing this step by step at a slow pace. Of course, on the actual exam, you won't have time to do it this way. This is just to train yourself to know the sequence. And you're going to see that everything that we do is a calculated step. So let me show you how many sentences we're going to be writing in this essay. This template is different from the full essay template because in the full essay template, you won't be writing sentences. I don't like to call this a template because you'll be doing most of the writing. The words in the front is just for your written discourse. This is what PTE asks for. So unlike a lot of the essay templates that you might get out there, where they basically write out a sentence and then erase half of it and ask you to complete it, I won't be asking you to do that. Everything you write will be your own sentence, and then you input it into the structure template. And the reason why it looks this way is because it's what PTE wants to see. So let me show you that. So these are called discourse markers. This is actually provided by PTE. So these are the words that they want to see in order to give us our written discourse. So if you compare that with the structure template, these are the words that you're seeing in front of the sentence. Nothing special. I just keep it simple. So let's go back to the structure template and count how many sentences we need to write and then write out those sentences. Okay, so starting from the top here, you can see from the introduction, I'll highlight it for you so you know. This is one of the sentences that we're going to have to write. Okay, and that's one. If you look at the other two sentences in the introduction, these sentences are already written, so you don't need to write that. So one in the introduction, and here we have 4 sentences in the body. If you recall from the outline and from the brainstorm, we already have these ideas thought of. So we have 4 sentences, and I'll highlight it here. This makes it 2 added from the introduction. This is 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so each sentence has a purpose. Remember that we thought of it already from the brainstorm, so that's why I just want to show you why we brainstorm that way. And there are 4 slots. Okay, so moving on to the next body, we have 4 more. So that's going to be number 6 right here. Okay, number 7, number 8, number 9, and that finishes off the body. So let's go down to the conclusion. And please remember, we already have the ideas built out, and it's from the brainstorm that I showed you earlier. So moving down to the conclusion, how many sentences do we have? Here's another one. That makes it number 10. And here's another one. We actually combine everything together. This is just one sentence here, and I'll show you how we do that. That makes it 11. And then the last sentence here, 12. We're going to be writing out 12 simple sentences, okay? So when I say simple sentence, I mean subject, verb, object, no linking words. So we try to keep it short and straight to the point. Okay, so we already know that the two bodies, the ideas are already built out. We know what we're going to be writing for that. But let me go back to the intro again just to show you what are we actually writing here. So it says paraphrase background with simple sentence. So this is where we take the background, the topic that they gave us, and we just rewrite it in some way or form in our own words. And that's the one sentence at the top. And then if we go down to the conclusion, we're going to be writing 3 sentences. What are those sentences? In the conclusion, again, it says paraphrase thesis with simple sentence. I've already mentioned that in the outline. So this is where we take whatever we wrote in that introduction and then just paraphrase it again. Basically, we write the same meaning in some different words. And now the second sentence of the conclusion, we're taking the first body and the second body and just combining with a short sentence that talks about both of them. And lastly, in the last sentence of the conclusion, we're writing one sentence about the future of this topic. Again, it doesn't even matter if it's right or it's wrong, just make something up. So I'm going to go back to the brainstorm and then start writing out the sentences. Okay, so here's our brainstorm again, and I'm going to condense it. I don't need that table in the middle anymore because we've already built our ideas. So I'm going to scroll down and I eliminated that box so we have more room to type. So if you remember, the first sentence that we need to write is actually based on this. We need to take this sentence and then paraphrase it. And that's one that goes into the intro, and we actually have to do it again and put it in the conclusion. But overall, we need 12 sentences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out those 12 simple sentences for you. And while I'm typing, I'll just speed up the video because you don't need to see me type. Because you know I'm going to paraphrase that topic sentence twice, once in the intro and once in the conclusion. And I'm going to take those 4 ideas in each body and create simple sentences with those. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so there you have it. There are the 12 sentences that I created. And as you can see, I highlighted step by step as why I was creating those sentences. Hopefully you're able to follow along. So these are the sentences that I'm going to be putting into the structured template. So I'm going to copy all of this and put it all on one blank page so it's easier to read. Okay, so I copied all 12 sentences down here now. So you see all of them are on one page. What we're going to do is put them into the template now. So as you can see, we're not concerned about the template itself. We just wrote out our own sentences and then we're just going to plug it into the template. So let me bring up that template first and then I'll show you step by step, but I'll speed it up as well so you don't have to watch me type, but you'll know exactly where each sentence is going to go into. Okay, once again, this is the structured template, and as you can see, every sentence that I wrote out is going to go into the slots with the yellow already highlighted. So what I'm going to do is just put the sentences that we already have inside the template like that. So I'm going to type these words in front of those sentences. And as you can see here inside the introduction, we actually have 2 sentences that are already pre-written, and we're going to pick agree because we have already stated that we agree. So I'm going to type it out from top to bottom, sentence by sentence, so you can see a step by step on what I'm doing. Okay, so there you have it. I put all of the sentences into the template like this, and that actually gave us more word count, right? Not only that, it also gave us the structure. We're not actually finished yet. So what I'm going to do is we're done with the introduction. So I'm going to put it into the paragraph form. Okay, we're not actually writing out sentences separated like that. So yes, we got to put it into a paragraph. Okay, so the introduction is done. I'm going to do the same thing for the conclusion because the conclusion is done. We're not quite finished with the body yet, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have two bodies here, and if you remember, I mentioned that we are actually going to be making complex compound sentences just to give a boost to the grammar, but we're not actually going out of our way to create that complex compound sentence, right? We're going to do it the same way that we've been doing it for the other writing tasks. So how do we do that? What I'm going to do is take a look at two sentences in the middle of the bodies and just compare to which one is shorter. So comparing these two sentences, which one do you think is shorter? I would say the second sentence. Would you agree? So we're going to take the second sentence and make it complex compound. How? Identify the nouns here. So I would say society, content, and stations. These are the three nouns that are in this sentence, and we'll take one of these and make a sentence. Okay, you can pick whichever one you want. So let me take a look and see what I would do. And we're gonna create a very short sentence. In this situation, I think I'm gonna take content or the content. Either way, I'm just show you real quick. I'm gonna copy and paste it down here. Okay, so for the sake of this, we're gonna look at content, and I'll make a short sentence, and I'll say content is about international relations. Okay, so that's it, or that's a little short sentence that we created. Now remember the complex, we do that first. So content and content is the same, so I'm going to change this to spelling which. Okay, and where do I put this? We're going to take this sentence here and place it after what which is content. Okay, and why is this down here? So there you go. So in addition, society remains well informed through the content which is about international relations from these stations. And again, that's only complex. Where is our compound? So we're going to throw in this. And usually here I'll just write a therefore, and I'll just give a result of this. Keep in mind, I don't really care about the content itself. I just want that complex compound sentence. So I'm just trying to write something very short. In this situation, I'll just put it is important. Talking about the content, I guess. So I just put it, so I don't have to use content again. And that's it right there. We added a few extra words. It's not about the words, it's about the grammar. And you should recall this from the previous lessons about the complex compound sentences. So let me move this back into paragraph form. Okay, done. And then same thing with the second body. And here we compare it. These two are quite similar. I'll just take the one on top because the one is slightly shorter. So what kind of nouns do we have up here? Okay, so we have television shows as one of the nouns. Let me highlight that for you. And then we have audiences. And then finally we have even ages. These are the nouns that we have. So we want to pick one of these nouns and make a sentence with them. And I think I'll just pick television shows. So I'll just move that down here and put it here. So I'll create a very short, simple sentence with television shows. I'll say that television shows are translated into different languages. Okay, done. So we'll take television shows again. We're creating the complex, and what do we do with this? We make it into which. So we're going to take this which, and what do we do with it? We're going to put it after what which is supposed to be, and that is television shows. And there's your complex. I often argue that in fact a variety of television shows which are translated into different languages are available for audiences of all ages. And again, we have one more thing that we need to do because we only have complex. Let's create the compound. We used therefore earlier, so now I'm going to use hence, which is pretty much similar. And what should I write here? I would say everyone enjoys it, keeping it very short. And there you have it. We're going to put this into our paragraph form, and there you go, moving it up, all up, and there you have it. One more. There you go. There are our 4 paragraphs. That is the essay that we want to write. I'll put it in all in one screen. So I showed you how to create this essay step by step using the structure template. We went from the outline to the brainstorm to the actual structure of the sentences, and then inputting them into the template. And again, we're moving step by step here just to show you that again, every move is a calculated step. We want to know that every sentence that we're writing is already predetermined. We're not writing anything freestyle. So when you're practicing, you want to be comfortable to where you can write out the sentences step by step and then just input it into the structure template. Once again, this is for people that already know how to write sentences and they don't want to memorize a 200-word essay template, and they can use this. But if you're not comfortable with this, I would definitely suggest going with the full essay template because you will not be required to write all these sentences. Thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Sonny and this is Sonny English. Before you go, please remember to drop that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you want a free copy of the essay outline and the template that I used in this tutorial, head over to my Instagram page, follow me, and DM me your email address, and I'll send you the outline and the essay. If you thought the tutorial was helpful and you want to see more, just click on the links on the side. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one.